Greetings to all of our CUFI family in America and around the world. Today I'm talking to you about joy is a choice. John 16:22 says, "Therefore you now have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart will rejoice, and your joy no man will be able to take from you." Joy overcomes sorrow. I'm not talking about clinical depression, the medical condition. I'm talking about less than happy, the blues, the blahs that never seem to end. How many of you have that from time to time? Almost everyone has been less than happy at some point in their lives, and great spiritual men are no exception. Consider Moses. After leading the children of Israel out of Egyptian captivity, he went up to Mount Sinai and spoke to the Lord face to face. He had been gone for 40 days in the presence of God, and his face was aglow with a Shekinah glory. It was one of the most powerful, transformative experiences of his life, or any man who ever lived. He was on cloud 9. However, when he came down off that mountain, he discovered that the children of Israel had come up with a new theology. It was the golden calf theology, and they were worshiping idols, exactly what God had delivered them from in Egypt. Moses went from perfect peace to rage in a matter of seconds. He was so distraught that he threw down the 10 Commandments and broke them at the base of the mountain. 10 Commandments that the finger of God had written in stone. But Moses wasn't the only man of God to ever lose his temper or to have a bad day. Job also was greatly depressed, so depressed that he, quote, cursed the day of his birth in Job 3. Elijah came down with a case of the blues, making him feel like he was the only one left in Israel who still believed God and followed God. That's Kings 19. The blues aren't just limited to great men of the Bible. Sir Winston Churchill suffered from deep depression, which he described as a, quote, black dog that couldn't get away from him. Charles Haddon Spurgeon, the prince of preachers, was preaching in his church in London, England, when a mentally ill man stood up and screamed, "Fire, fire." It created a stampede. Several people were trampled to death trying to escape this false alarm. It literally broke the heart and the mind of that world-renowned preacher. Despite being a man of God, of great stature, he was not immune to being crushed by heartache. The deacons of Spurgeon's church took him to the home of the head deacon, and they prayed for him around the clock for weeks until his mind and spirit was totally healed. The peace of God that surpasses understanding restored him. After that, his sermons were carried around the world. He's the most published preacher in the history of Christendom. The fact is, almost everyone gets the blues. But it's staying there that's the issue. Staying in the blahs of life is a decision, but so is choosing joy. Joy is a decision. It's a decision to discipline your thought life. It's a decision to abandon the whiny, self-piteous, thumb-sucking things you're going through that make you feel like Elijah, misunderstood and totally alone. It's the decision to give God total control of your life, total control of your marriage, of your children, of your job, and trust that everything is going to be all right. Joy is a decision, and I want you to make that decision today. That's God's word for today. God bless each of you. I'll see you tomorrow.